fuck. What's good, everybody? What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny Finesse. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have the iPhone 13 models. I still have the iPhone X. I was gonna get the last year's iPhone, but they came out with 5G, and I automatically knew it's a new type of G. It's gonna take a minute for it to be really good. So yeah. And now my phone's starting to tweak. So you know how iPhone is when when your phone starts to tweak. It's time for you to get a new phone. So we about to see the new iPhone. If you're new to the channel and haven't subbed yet, hit that sub button. We on the road to 950 subscribers. I need y'all to hit that sub button and the bell notifications too, so you don't miss a thing again. Also smash the like button too, man. Smash the like button if you're getting this phone. Smash the like button if you've seen the phone like this already. Smash that like button if you have an iPhone, man. That being said, let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it.
Hey, what's up? I'm KBHD here, and every year, like
the helmets is pain in the back.
clockwork, around second week of September, assuming no pandemic-related delays, we expect the new iPhone to come out. Or
yeah.
iPhones, since now it's a whole lineup of phones. And last year was the biggest iPhone lineup ever unveiled all at once. We got 4 different models, and we fully expect again this year to see 4 new models. And the evolving rumors about
I'm gonna get the best of the best. I ain't gonna lie.
Have been making headlines for the past couple months, as always. Real quick first though, we have finally launched that secret second channel. It's the studio channel, and it's up. The first video that just dropped today is now live. It's the studio tour, which a lot of you guys have been asking about.
I seen that.
And now you can finally see the finished space. You can meet the team, and you can head over there and subscribe to see a lot more stuff like behind the scenes and all sort of things you've been asking that we don't quite get a chance to put on the main channel. It's all over there. If you subscribe soon, hopefully you can be one of the first 100,000 in the first week. It's one of our goals. That'd be nice. Okay, so I've got 4 of the new models of the iPhone 13 expected this year, and then
so the cameras is different. That's fire.
map right alongside last year. 13 mini, the 13, the 13 Pro, and the 13 Pro Max.
13 Pro Max is me. That's me right there. That's me.
I think this is going to be a pretty short video because they are so similar. Also, of course, it doesn't guarantee a whole lot, but these are just some of the things that we think we can expect from the next iPhone. These aren't, of course, from Apple. They're made
these concepts
around the things we expect to see. And so if you want to build cases or accessories for the iPhone, that's what these sort of models are built to be useful for. So as we've learned, it's about to be August, and these phones in real life are already pretty much hardware locked somewhere inside Apple's spaceship campus right now as we approach fall for launch. But just so we're clear, this is all still technically speculation, but holding these models in the hand for the first time, it's pretty quickly evident we're looking at pretty similar designs, right? Same.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Just everything is upgraded. That's why I just stayed to the X, like my regular X, because it's like every single thing after that is just a better camera and just faster speed. Like it's nothing to really be like paying $1,000 for. Like if you're gonna pay $1,000 for it, you might as well bought a camera separate and make money off that camera.
Sizes,
Feel me?
of course, lines up with the flat lines and everything from last year's iPhone. Makes sense. We've seen them stick with one design for multiple years, and this is the 12's design. The new stuff that we can actually look at, though, are, number 1, the port. Now, a port is technically not a new thing, since we've always had ports, but there's been a rumor that's made the rounds about Apple possibly getting rid of the Lightning port and not switching to USB-C, but just going totally portless, completely wireless for everything on all the new iPhones.
I hope they don't do that, because what about the cars and shit? I know y'all putting wireless chargers and stuff like that, but like I need to bring one of these in the car now. I need to do that. It's crazy.
Just the Pro phones, but possibly across the whole lineup. And while I still think they're aiming for that, and I made a whole video about why Apple's aiming for a portless future, these new models, all of them, do have ports. Now to me that just says the MagSafe ecosystem is not quite ready to pick up where Lightning left off. Now there was a big deal made about MagSafe. It was the new charging standard, the new wireless charging on the back of the iPhone, slap it on there with magnets. And there are a bunch of really good MagSafe accessories out now. There's MagSafe compatible cases, there are things that slap on the back of the phone. My favorite car mount is really good, the one Moment makes. I'll link that one below. I've been using it for a while now. But even Apple's first-party accessories are slowly starting to grow out. They just dropped that $100 MagSafe battery bank that attaches to the back of the iPhone. But it really does
Might have to buy that.
A little early to just jump straight to that and totally get rid of the port. It was already kind of a big deal when Apple bumped up from 5 watts to 20 watts of charging on the iPhone MagSafe only supports
that big brick.
up to 15 watts. We're living in a world where there are phones charging at 50, 65, maybe soon 100 plus watts wirelessly, which is awesome.
Crazy.
And this just
That's
isn't
crazy.
quite at the flagship, at the tier that I'd want it to be. So maybe they're waiting for better wireless charging to make the MagSafe.
Nah, it's just some parts gotta be cheap, so other stuff can be expensive.
Transition easier, but
they got a budget too. Apple has a budget. They always have a budget.
Too early to go portless. So then the rest of the phone pretty much lines up with the iPhone 12. Same speaker placement, same thickness and height across the lineup. Then I did notice slightly lower button placement actually, which I like a lot and feels best on the bigger phones, but this is actually only on the middle-sized phones, the 13 and the 13 Pro. The buttons are in the same place on the 13 Pro Max and the 13 Mini, interestingly. But then one more big change is these cameras, which are somehow all bigger. So the 13 and 13 Mini here have dual cameras still, but they switched to this diagonal orientation. And then the 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max still have triple cameras, but look at the new size of these camera modules. They're bigger, and they look pretty similar at first, but I actually think we can read into these a little bit more than them just being bigger. So here's my interpretation of this. In the 13 and the 13 Mini, you've got these two dual cameras now, roughly the same size of overall module. They're a diagonal lineup now. And the lower right one is actually a bit larger.
That probably wouldn't really make a difference in taking pictures on an iPhone, but I still buy it.
To me, would hopefully mean a larger sensor back here, which is nice. We've wanted larger sensors in iPhones for a long time, and they only did one larger sensor on last year's iPhone, the big 12 Pro Max. But it's possible, and we see this all the time, where the newest stuff, the best stuff from last year's flagship trickles down in price. So that could be what we're seeing here with bigger sensor. Now on the 13 Pro and Pro Max though, the big phones, check this out. The whole camera bump is a larger footprint, but it's not because the lenses are much bigger. They're actually just a bit more spread out. And to me, this might not actually be bigger sensors, but it may be better stabilization. So you may remember last year on that iPhone 12 Pro Max, that was the only one to feature advanced sensor shift stabilization, and it was only on the larger primary sensor. This year, it looks like there may be more room to use this more active, precise sensor shift stabilization on all of the sensors. So even if the sensor isn't bigger, or if it's a little bit bigger, they can hold it still for longer shutter speeds and longer periods of time. And that gets you less noise in photos without the drawbacks that come from huge sensors in smartphones like super shallow depth of field fringing. So those are some interesting things to look forward to behind the new designs of some of these cameras here. Now, of course, there's a bunch of other stuff that these new models or mock-ups will never tell us, like ProMotion. That's one of the biggest, almost weirdly most interesting rumors about these new phones, because you'd think by now, where every other phone out there has a high refresh rate display, the iPhone being last up, they've got to do it. We don't know that just from these dummies, but it may just be the dummy stuff, or maybe across the lineup. Either way, I hope to see ProMotion. But then these models don't tell us specs or RAM or anything like that. We already know what iOS 15 looks like. That should launch typically around the same time the iPhone does.
And on top of that, I can't even update my X. That's how you know it's done. Like, that shit is done. Not because it's not letting me, it's because I don't have enough memory. Like, I'm not deleting stuff to update it, and then now it's just less and less space in my phone. Like, nah.
And they also don't tell us if the notch is the same size. Now, but there is one thing to notice, which is if you look closely on some of these models, you can see, they've cut out some smaller sensors underneath the earpiece, but they did move the earpiece all the way up, further up, higher on the top of the phone. And I feel like
that's painful.
That's only something you would do if you're sort of reorganizing or sort of just compressing all of these pieces up here in the Face ID cluster to try to make a smaller notch. So not getting rid of it, but at least giving you some of that screen real estate back.
That's pain. I can't wait to get that phone. I'm gonna get the Pro.
Really just has
I'm gonna get on God. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get the biggest one.
For a couple years now.
I never bought the big one.
Possibly bringing in.
I never bought the biggest iPhone. Like, the first time I bought the biggest iPhone, it didn't work out.
Display fingerprint.
Like, it didn't work out.
Touch ID back and maybe
bought it secondhand. Never buy any phone secondhand again.
I would like to see it personally.
I make too much bread to do that.
Likely, I could see.
No, this is from Amazon.
Totally ignoring fingerprint sensors. and sticking with Face ID. But that's it. That's really all we get from these sort of models when they come out every year. We don't even know if it's going to be called the iPhone 13. Could be 12S for all we know. Although that's pretty unlikely because there was no 11S. It seems like they're just going straight with the +1 number from here on out. But yeah, what do you think? Is this upgrade? I'm holding the model of the Pro Max right now. Is 120 hertz display and
That's nice.
possibly some better cameras on the back
That's
enough
nice.
to get you to upgrade?
Yeah, that's from the 12 to the 13. You see what I'm talking about from the beginning? I said like they always put like a little bit of stuff that you don't really need, but it actually makes the phone look that much better, bro. Like that's why when you buy iPhones, bro, just hold it down for at least 2 years so you can feel a real difference in your phone. Like if you're buying a new iPhone every year, you notice that you're just spending money on like a better, as you just said, a better camera and a better screen. Okay, that's cool. You could have bought yourself for that same $1,000. You could have bought a better camera. Like, make money off that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have made money.
That's a bit of a weird
That's just
question
me.
because most people with last year's phone shouldn't be upgrading anyway. But on
Exactly.
older phones, even to tell the difference, if some of these smaller models like the Mini, the 13 Mini, or the 13, are really just a slight camera improvement and some bumped specs, feels like almost the same phone. But I'm curious what you guys think of what you've seen from these models. Either way, that's been it. Thanks for watching, and definitely...
Thanks for watching, deadass. But if you made it to the end of the video, you obviously like the video, so you obviously gotta subscribe. Hit that sub button, y'all. We are on the road to 950 subscribers, so I need y'all to hit that sub button. Make sure y'all subscribe, tap that bell notification too, and make sure y'all hit that